And if you notice, we have some civility and decorum at the top. Please read that, and hopefully we can work with that. We're going to try and state the school board policy, and we'll begin with the pledge of allegiance to the flag. So if everyone could rise, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Your roll call, please.
Mr. Chrisman? Mr. Disler?
Here.
Mr. Fedorcha?
Here.
Ms. Bruns?
Here.
Ms. Heckman? Ms. Husak? Present. Mr. Kern?
Here.
Ms. Culp?
Here.
Mr. Green?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Okay, you've all received copies of the preceding meeting on January 9th. Motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
I don't know who said that, Gary?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a second?
Donna.
Donna? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no?
There was no sign-ups for public comment.
Oh, I was wondering what you were pointing out. Okay, nobody wants to speak tonight. Good. Special board reports, CLIU. Who's that?
Thank you, Mr. Green. We did have a very brief meeting in January. That one day of snow got us, so we did have a virtual meeting last time. But you will see on our board agenda this evening, our operating and technology budget is on for approval this evening. To Northern Lehigh, there's been no updates to that particular budget. That is really the operating budget. Their services are pay by service fees separate, so if our students go through and need their services, it's a separate budget, but this particular portion of the budget, no changes for Northern Lehigh. We did also get to meet our brand new addition to the IU, baby Lassie, who is a brown lab, and man, she is adorable. So if you see on WFMZ, there was a video that was out. They had come to do a video and an introduction of Lassie. She will be visiting the last school, which is out, I'm gonna say it's New Tripoli, and I know that's not the right location, but out that way off of Route 100. She'll be housed out there with all her services being paid through the IU's Special Needs Children's Foundation. So if you see the golf tournament come up or their Christmas basket social or those types of things, those are some things that go into that Special Needs Foundation. And we also present our students with adaptive bikes through that same foundation. So it's a wonderful place to support having our students have access to that. That's all I have this evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ms. Husak, Mr. Fedorcha, I'll see you.
We are also, our budget is on the agenda this evening. And one thing we did hold over the past month is our Skills Olympics, in which our students participate with five other schools, or four other schools plus ourselves, in student, which is called, it's called Skills Olympics. We have a number of students from here have participated. I do not know the outcome. I thought I would know that today, but I have not been receiving it. So I will have an update on that report to know how many of our students took any places. I don't know unless the high school knows anything.
We have.
You have it.
We have it in her
You
report,
get it
yeah.
before I did. Okay. Well then, I won't take away your thunder. Thank you. That's it, sir.
Thanks, sir. Ms. Heckman is not here this evening. Just ditto on the Lehigh Carbon Community College budget. You're saving a couple bucks with us, and that's strictly based on numbers. You know, we just have a lower enrollment than we had, so. Okay, having finished that, you've all received your committee reports of the meeting. And then we go to the highlight of our evening. Da-da-da-da.
Good evening, everyone. To start off, I have some Valentine's Day stuff because tomorrow is Valentine's Day, so we've kind of been celebrating that at the high school. From February 6th to the 10th, student council sold Valentines at lunch, and they could be bought by someone for another friend or someone they admire, and it's a nice little fundraiser and a good way to show appreciation for their friends. National Honor Society and Student Council made Valentine's Day cards for senior citizens as a service project this year, which is new for us, and a big thanks to Brody Rothrock. He kind of set this all up and got us doing something for this season. On February 9th, debate went to Caddy to compete, and then a few Northern Lehigh participants went home with perfect elements of their score, like perfect speech, perfect performance. And then 4 debaters will advance to the semifinals on February 23rd. So congrats to debate for all they are doing. It's good to see them on the report. Next I have the Skills USA competition, which recently took place, and there were many participants from Northern Lehigh. I want to congratulate a few individuals who ended up placing. Gage Tessitore got 3rd place in electronics technology. Jackson Van Norman got 3rd place in a team welding competition. Tyler Fenstemaker got 2nd place in welding, and Braden Arnold got 1st place for his work with motorcycles, which granted him a scholarship for that achievement. So that is so great. Congrats to all of those people who achieved that. And then Northern Lehigh Little Theater will be performing their spring musical, The Lightning Thief, the Percy Jackson musical, on March 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. So that's exciting to see the musical coming around again. And lastly, there's an informational meeting about courses for next year on February 22nd in the middle school auditorium for students and parents. Personally, I like to attend these throughout the years because I like to be in touch with all the courses and stuff and getting set up for college. So I think it's a great thing to attend. That's all I have for tonight. I'll pass it over to Victoria to finish her report.
Good evening, everyone. So I'm going to be talking about what different clubs are doing in our sports report. And starting off, we have Student Council, and we will be having our spring dance on March 18th. And the tickets are $10, but we're doing a thing with correlation to our food drive where the tickets will be reduced in pricing if a student brings in like canned good. So it's kind of like a win-win. Like we get canned goods, like food for the food drive, and students get a cheaper price for the dance. And also with the spring dance, we will have a pep rally the Friday before in honoring the winter sports and spring sports, and we'll be doing lots of games and activities. We also, the class of 2023 and 2024, we are preparing for the junior senior prom at Penn's Peak on April 29th, and we're doing we have a decorations group and an advertising and tickets group, and we're trying to get things moving to have a good prom this year. And also different clubs are doing different fundraising events. We have this freshman class which are selling Gertrude Hawk chocolate bars. The junior class are doing Krispy Kreme donuts, and the Patriot Club is doing beef stick. So if any of you guys want any good treats or goodies, just hit them up for that. So onto our sports report, we have the boys basketball team, and recently they had their senior night, and they recognized Bryce Lopinto, Devon Sosa, and Ethan Kunkel, and they just finished their season with a record of 1-21. And we also have the wrestling team, and they're doing pretty good this season. They qualified for the district tournament on, I'm pretty sure it was February 25th. Yep. And then we also have the girls basketball team, who they qualified for leagues and districts. And this past Saturday, they won against Northwestern, and they will be playing their district game on February 25th. And a lot of the teams are pretty much done except for the wrestling and basketball, but we are having an awards night on March 6th in recognition for all these teams. And starting on March 6th, we also have spring sports for track and field, softball, and baseball starting that day. And another exciting thing is a few of our seniors, they signed a letter of intent to do college soccer, not soccer. Well, one of them did soccer. There's also football and softball, and that was Nick Frame, Jordan Hemway, and Caitlin Kirk. And it's good to see them, pursuing all the 3 goals. And that's all I have for today.
Thank you.
Any questions? No? Okay, thanks again. Where are we? Gee, solicitor, do you have anything this evening?
Not tonight, thank you.
Good, that's what we like to hear. Business manager?
Just everybody reported the 3 budgets for L-Tri-C, ACLIU, and LCTI are on the board agenda for approval this evening, as is the auditor's report as of June 30th of 2022. If there's no questions on them, that's all I have.
Thank you. Assistant Superintendent, Dr. Stoker.
Thank you, Mr. Green. This evening at your places, you have the ESSER grant spending update. There are also some copies out in the lobby for any of the people in the audience this evening. With regard to ESSER 2, Since last time that we reported, we've been spending the money on salary and benefits of our technology integration specialists, an extra kindergarten teacher, and our half-time English language development program teacher. Our ESSER 3 money has been spent for salary and benefits of our Director of Educational Technology, Curriculum and Instruction, paraprofessionals at Peters, Slatington, and our middle school, and our English language development paraprofessional. We also spent ESSER 3 monies on mobile hotspots and the nurse at Peters Elementary School. For ESSER 3B, for learning loss, we used some of the money for Ed Insight professional development, esports, which is new to Northern Lehigh, for some of the equipment to get that up and running, after-school tutoring, and then summer enrichment to purchase the telescope that we're using for our astronomy program at the middle school. This evening, the middle school curriculum guide and high school program of study are on the agenda for approval. They've been presented, reviewed, and discussed at our curriculum council and also at the education committee. We look forward to those being ratified so that our secondary schools can begin scheduling for the 23-24 school year. Some additional things that were not on the agenda that came up. This morning we were notified that our comprehensive plan has been accepted by the Pennsylvania Department of Education. That includes all of the sub-plans and revisions that were submitted over the past few months. Additionally, this weekend, PDE posted the 22-23 Safe Schools Targeted Grant recipients. I'm happy to announce that Northern Lehigh received this grant for school police officers. We were the only district in Lehigh County that received the SPO grant and only one of 3 districts in our county that received any of the targeted grants. The grant term runs the entire length of the 2023 calendar year, and Northern Lehigh will be using the funds to pay for the salary, benefits, and some equipment purchases for our SPOs. Lastly, this evening, the Comprehensive Guidance or 339 plan will be posted for public review after the board meeting tonight on the district's comprehensive planning page. It will remain there until March 13th, the board meeting at which time we will be voting on that to approve it. And then we ask the public to review it and email me with any questions or comments. The plan must be submitted to PDE by March 31st, as we are a Phase 3 district. That's my report for this evening, Mr. Green.
Thank you. Any questions on anything there? No? Okay. Where we are, the superintendent's report. Mr. Lake.
Thank you, Mr. Green. I'd like to start by first congratulating Dr. Stoker for leading the district through another successful comprehensive plan process, and also congratulating Dr. Stoker and Mrs. Molotores on successfully obtaining the most recent grant for our SPOs at a total amount of $75,000, I believe. So the fact that Northern Lehigh was the only district in Lehigh County to receive that is a testament to their hard work and how successful they are at writing grants for our school district. I'd also this evening like to acknowledge one of our recent retirees. When I kind of look through the audience this evening, I'm sure some of you either had her as a food services, family consumer science instructor, or as a school counselor, or maybe some of your children have. She is quite the just legacy within our school district. So it's my pleasure to recognize Linda Brown, who was hired full-time in August of 1988 as a home economics teacher, prior to it becoming a family consumer science teacher at Northern Lehigh Middle School and High School. She previously served the district as a family consumer science substitute teacher for 7.5 years. She obtained her bachelor's degree in home economics education from Mansfield University in 1979, and in 1980 received her certification in cooperative education from Penn State University. In 1983, she then obtained her master's in education with a concentration in home economics from Indiana University of Pennsylvania. And in 2000, she received her certification in secondary school counseling from Kutztown University, and then began her role as a Northern Lehigh Middle School counselor in August of 2018. Mrs. Brown is an excellent teacher and school counselor who met the individual needs of each and every child as she developed their special talents and interests. Mrs. Brown touched the lives of thousands of Northern Lehigh students over the past, cumulatively, 42.5 years, which is absolutely remarkable. and was always able to make special connections with our middle school students by providing them and entrusting them in a supportive environment. She truly was a gift to our students and staff. She will be dearly missed. Mrs. Brown has retired from the district at the end of January 2023 after 42 and a half years of service. So obviously we just finished the Super Bowl last evening. You hear of the phrase a coaching tree, like Andy Reid's coaching tree, and how many coaches he has mentored over the years. I was fortunate enough to have a conversation with Mrs. Brown probably about 2-3 weeks ago. Mr. Hauser and I were talking with her. It was her first day of mentoring the new school counselor, and I kind of came to the realization that she has a school counseling and teaching tree. She listed many of the students that are currently teachers for us, many of their children that are now our students, or their grandchildren that are now our students. Her Northern Lehigh tree, the roots run deep and the branches stretch far. She truly was a remarkable educator for our school district. It's my sincere hope that her retirement years will bring her much joy and fulfillment. On behalf of the Board of Education and the school district, we will be honoring her request to have a donation sent to the Slatington Public Library as a token of our appreciation for all that she has done for the staff and students in this community. Best wishes to Linda Brown. Next, just last week, February 6th through February 10th, was 2 important weeks in public education. It was National School Counselors Appreciation Week. So for all of our school counselors in Northern Lehigh District, we're very grateful for what they do for our students, their families, their colleagues, and truly just the Northern Lehigh community at large. Additionally, it was Food Services Workers Appreciation Week. So thank you to Mrs. Fink and your team in ensuring that all of our students have nutritious meals, breakfast and lunch every single day. And I know oftentimes you all go above and beyond in ensuring that our most needy families have food kind of outside of the school day as well through our food pantry. So thank you to you and your team for all the work that you do. School Police Officer Appreciation Day is February 15th. So this Wednesday is School Police Officer Appreciation Day. If you see any of our school police officers around, please take a time to say thank you for what they do for our school district as well. And finally this evening, I would like to share that our Northern Lehigh Education Foundation has again stepped up and done something quite remarkable for our school district. Friday evening, or perhaps Saturday evening, I forget, I received an email from the president of our Education Foundation sharing with me that they are going to grant a $5,000 grant to our middle school. This is because they received EITC funding again this year, which they always dedicate for Northern Lehigh School District. This year, way back in probably the end of last school year, Mr. Hauser wrote a request to them to help us get a program off the ground over at the middle school. He requested $3,000. They actually awarded us $5,000. And Mr. Hauser, if you could just spend a little bit of time sharing with the audience what that money is going to go to support.
Absolutely. The middle school, the forthcoming astronomy program, I'll say things are looking up, pun very much intended. We have already purchased a state-of-the-art telescope. It is professional quality, considered the industry standard for anyone not working in a university, but kind of doing amateur stargazing and sky watching. It's an excellent piece of equipment. What we did not have was the astrophotography and imaging hardware and software that goes along with that. The telescope will allow you to view these objects. The other equipment brings them into clarity, and it allows you to see them and save pictures of them that are textbook quality, that if you would go to any bookstore and buy a coffee table book of outer space and the solar system and the cosmos, we will be able to generate pictures that are akin to that from our middle school. We'll be training our teachers how to lead that. We'll be training our students on how to use that. And we have teachers very excited to dive right in. So I express just a lot of gratitude to the Education Foundation for the generosity in helping us get that program underway and really taking things to the next level. One more pun, the sky's the limit when it comes to this, to this endeavor, and we are very excited to get going. So thank you again to the Ed Foundation.
Haven't seen any white balloons floating around. There,
I'm not at liberty to discuss.
Oh, okay. Sorry I asked.
Mr. Hauser, will that program be held
Yes.
during class time, before, after school?
So the game changer in the amount, the $3,000 grant that I initially wrote was for the equipment that would talk to the telescope purchase, so that would work in tandem. The extra money, we're going to have some discussion in the coming weeks about what the extra funds are going to be going to. There are things that can be done during the daytime in school that are more meteorological. For example, you have cameras you can turn upside down and it will actually keep a 360-degree image of the sky all day. That could allow the middle school to be a nationally recognized weather station and have that data uploaded and manipulated in a lot of different classes, math, science, wherever. So there's really a lot to do with it. We're also looking to have evening programs as well for the community at large. So we're kind of trying to do a nice soft rollout, get us used to the equipment, get everybody trained in it, and then eventually open it up K-12 community at large. Looking to get some mounts out on the middle school courtyard. We have the perfect facility for it. Just really excited for it.
Fantastic, well done, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hauser.
You're welcome.
Mr. Green, that concludes my report for this evening.
That's it, thank you, sir. Okay, item K, your agenda says an executive session was at 6, it was really at 6:30. We discussed some personnel items, and I don't know if I need to announce this, but I will, just so I don't get kicked from a solicitor. There will be a negotiations update immediately following the public meeting this evening, so just to let everybody know about that. Okay, any questions to this point? Well, okay. All right, let's move to personnel. We have, I don't know, about 3 pages there, items A to L. Is there a motion to approve the items under personnel, please?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Fedorchis, is there a second?
Here.
Second. Any discussion or questions on personnel? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. And so ordered. Okay, we have policy, we have items A through D. I think the majority of these were discussed at the policy committee meeting. Is there a motion to approve the policy items?
So moved.
Motion, and a second?
I'll second.
Got a second, thanks, Bob. Any questions on the policy, discussions? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And so ordered. We have 2 conferences on the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the conferences, please?
So moved.
Motion, is there a second?
Here.
That was Robin?
Yes.
Thank you. Questions on the conferences? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And so ordered. Curriculum instruction, we have 2 items on there. The books that were mentioned earlier. They're an item to approve curriculum and instruction.
So moved.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
And a second. Questions on curriculum and instruction? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. And so ordered. I have nothing under old business. Anyone? Any old business anywhere? No? Okay, under new business, we have a memorandum, easy for me to say, of understanding with the Northern Lehigh School District support personnel per attachment 18. I think you've all received a copy of that. Is there a motion to approve the memorandum? I'm getting a look, and essentially, are you questioning?
Just give us, because John and I were just doing that. What is exactly the gist of it?
Okay, essentially what happened was maximum rate was established in the
Okay.
contract.
We got it, we got it.
Yeah, and the guys who were at
Okay.
maximum rate retired, so you don't have anybody there, so
Right.
there's no number listed
remember
in the
now, thank you.
contract.
Okay.
So that kind
I'll
of
move it or
spells.
second it, whatever.
Yeah, okay,
We're good, thank you.
all right. Is there a motion to approve that?
So moved.
How about a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any other questions on the memorandum? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. And so ordered. Unless there's an objection, we got a whole bunch of financial stuff, A to O. We'll take those all together. Is there a motion to approve the financial items?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Fedorchis, is there a second?
I'll second. Give it to Rhonda.
You pick one, yeah. The secretary will choose. Any discussion or questions on any of the financial items? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no.
Just thank you to the board for approving the VOTEC budget. Or LCTI budget, I should say.
I also would like to thank the board for including the softball outfield as part of our renovation project. I didn't, and as a board member, I'm remiss to say this, but I didn't realize it wasn't included in the original proposal. And now I think we'll have two really nice competition fields that are equal and will be outstanding, so thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kern. Under legal, we have one item, the expulsion hearing. Is there a motion to approve the hearing?
So moved.
Motion, is there a second?
Here.
Second by Robin. Any questions on that? Shouldn't be, but if not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. And so ordered. Okay, we will then go into correspondence. Any correspondence anywhere?
Yes, I have a correspondence. Email that was received by myself, the board secretary, on February 6th. Dear Mrs. Husak, it was with sadness that I submit my resignation from Northern Lehigh School Board, effective February 6th, 2023. Serving this board has been a privilege, however, my professional and personal commitments are preventing me from giving this position the attention it deserves. I'm proud of the board, our superintendent, and the district for its professionalism during the pandemic and its commitment to serving our staff and students each and every day. Sincerely, Michelle Heckman.
Okay, we need to accept that. Is there a motion to accept the resignation?
So moved.
Mr. Fedorcha, is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Rhonda. Shouldn't be any questions, but if there are, no? If not, all those in favor of approving the resignation signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Excuse me, and so ordered. Okay, as a result of that, I would like to ask the administration to do the proper advertising for the vacancy. I would ask that those, let me make sure I got the dates right here, that we have a meeting on Monday, February 27th at 6 p.m. to see if we can hopefully appoint a person at 6 p.m. on the 27th. I would like to ask that those, anyone interested in applying would apply to the school district by 4 p.m. on Thursday, the 23rd. You have to apply to the school district. It should be given to the superintendent secretary, not the secretary of the board, by 4 o'clock on Thursday. That will give us a day or so to look over, set up plans for Monday, and then have the reorganization meeting, or not the reorganization, the meeting to appoint at 6 p.m. And I'm going to ask that also says any other business that needs to be attended to at that time, just in case something comes up. If it doesn't, and we won't do that. And that will be followed by another executive session, and that will be to discuss the superintendent's mid-year evaluation. If you haven't already, you should be getting a copy of that online. And again, please have that in also by 4 p.m. on the 23rd. That's next Thursday, so that should be plenty of time to do that. It doesn't take that long. Any questions on the meetings? Anything? We got that? Okay. Done with that. Any other correspondence? Anybody? No? Okay, you have some information items there of the various meetings. You said there were no guests that signed up this evening? No?
There is no one that signed up for agenda items or non-agenda items.
Or non-agenda items? No one signed up for anything? Okay. So we'll get by that. Before we adjourn, we were talking about people from the school district, and I don't know if you've seen a copy of the slate yet, but there's some pictures on there. You know, so if you haven't, pick up a copy of that. And you haven't seen it?
I've changed quite a bit, I think.
Looks familiar. I'm not sure, but if you haven't, you can skip mine and take a look at it. So, any other business that needs to be attended to? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor of adjourning, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. And so ordered, we're finished. So I'd like to just take a 5-minute break and then meet everyone in the conference room.